Hi everybody, Gospel Guitars here with another video. This time I'm going to cover one of my builds from last year. I wanted to get back into pedals, and my girl bought me the Distortion DS1 from Boss, and I told her, or warned her, that that could be a mistake. Things happen when you buy a guitar player a pedal. I've always been like a Rack Digitech guy or whatever, Boss effects and Rack stuff, and kind of missed the pedal days. So she thought she'd buy me a Distortion, and look what happened. Yeah, I know you've been there, right? Okay, well anyway, I needed to build a nice board, and I wanted to do something different, kind of original, but not totally original, but there are some features that may be original. First of all, I used really heavy Douglas fir to build this. I made it out of 2x4s and 2x6s. I think I made the sides were cut out of 2x8s. And then I stained it so it would look more like furniture than a piece of stage hardware, because it spends its time in my living room most of the time. So for those who would like to know what's here and how I'm wired, I come in from the right side of the board through the guitar cable, and it runs right into my wah-wah, or my volume pedal, and then my volume goes into my wah-wah, and my wah-wah pedal goes into the MXR Dynacomp. And from there I feed the tuner, which then comes out and feeds through my overdrive pedals. And just so you know, I have a Super Overdrive from Boss, a Boss driver, and their famous Distortion DS1. So all those feed into a Boss noise suppressor NS2. And I went with the NS2 for this specific reason. I come out of the NS2 and it has a loop built in. So not only do your signal go in and out and suppresses the noise, but it also has a second loop. So I come out of that send on that loop into my Phase 90, my MXR micro chorus, my micro flanger, my Univibe, and then it feeds back into the return of the NS2. So that is like a noise suppressing loop. So you get the front noise suppressed and you get your effects noise suppressed. So from here it feeds into the guitar's input on the amplifier. And the only thing on the amp's effects loop is my MXR carbon copy. So right now I have room for a nice reverb, which, can you guess, it might be an MXR. And I have some room down here for maybe another distortion or a special overdrive tool or something, who knows. I used to have a looper on it, but I found I'd never really, I'm in here to jam, not to practice, and so the looper wound up is going in my studio, and I'm going to have a separate video on what I do with that. It's going to be kind of interesting, and I've never seen anybody else do it, so I'm going to make a video about what I'm going to do with mine. I think it's a little different, and I think it's going to be very useful. So this is the front and top of the board, of course, taped Velcro on there on both sides, 2 strips. Everything is secure. I tied these pedals, I used 2 zip ties. They're like 12-inch or so long zip ties to keep those on place. This board is very heavy. If you want to build one, I may release plans later, but this thing is heavy. You want to park it somewhere. I don't tour, I don't gig, so it just sits in my living room. It's heavy enough to move it off the carpet just to sweep or something. Let's take a look at the back. So here at the back I came up with the idea of running a wired cable to power everything with a lit switch. That seems simple enough, right? So then I decided to put in an outlet with USB charge ports on it. So you can plug in the board power supply here, your amp here. Right now I'm running my camera lights off of this. You can put, like if you're playing and you like to use your pad for song lists and things like that, you can just plug your pad in right there and keep it charged while you're performing. Neat idea. I confirmed it with a guy that was on a cruise ship. Talked to him about how this setup would work for him, and he liked it because he's running everything separate and has to deal with a bunch of stuff already. So it'd be nice to have a board that did this. So I incorporated it. I should incorporate a new tongue. Okay, let's slide this over. Here we have the 8-channel snake. So we have our guitar out, our amp effects coming from the amp into the board, leaves the board through the effects out. This is the amp's effects loop foot switch, the channel foot switch, tremolo foot switch, and the reverb foot switch. And this is just a generic feed from the amplifier. It has an output on it for recording, and I just run it through the snake to here. On the other end over here, I have a output for that, so you can run it to your recording device. I haven't used it yet, but I just thought I'd put it in there because you never know. And that's the board. Thanks for watching. I hope you tune in, subscribe to my channel, like the board, and I'll see you in the next video.